Hey, so I just finished reading Excalibur #4. I don't think I've ever read this one before. I used to love this comic book back in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s. I remember being funny, but this particular issue did not seem too terribly funny, except for the cover. But, the cover gave me a little chuckle. It's, this guy mopping the floor. He's like, you want to see, like, big old burly men and sexy women? Well, that's going to be on the inside this time. It's like, yeah, the cover's kind of cheeky. It's kind of funny. Ooh, turtles. Still crazy after all these years. So this kind of should have been the cover, I guess. We got Captain Britain kissing somebody here. It's some kind of, like, she had to spend money for, like, dollar kisses or something. One of these things people used to do before they realized that that's not a good thing to do. Here we go with the Ice Queen running the bank, and then all of a sudden these crazy people come in, which is the Crazy Yang. Off with her head. I remember her in a few of the issues. So I don't know if they're a regular guest, but it seems like I remember these guys. So we got Death, we got that metal dude right there. It looks kind of like Jack of Hearts, but not good enough. We got some kind of clowns. So I guess they're kind of like the card gang, sort of. We got the Queen of Hearts, the Jack of Hearts, maybe. The Death of Hearts. Heart Attack, maybe. I don't know. And we got the Joker. Yeah, whatever. So she's fighting them off the best she can. Then she gets this guy right here. Ugh, being drawn by all his... He's got a chariot drawn by mice. That's some weird stuff. I mean, I guess the weirdness of it was what was so funny back then, but I don't know. I guess when I was like 18, this seemed like so different from what I normally read that it just seemed funny. But now it's like, man, I don't know. I guess weird has become normal now. So while this used to be weird and that made it more funny, I guess maybe that's what the humor was. It was just so different. Look, Mom, no more wires. Ugh, Nintendo. So she's basically jumping over him, and she goes out to find the police. Oh, we have Arcade. Now, doesn't Arcade look a lot like the doll that kills people, Chucky? And this girl right here, I keep thinking, is this Psylocke or something? Because he does call her Miss Locke a few times. All right, Max. I think I played that before. That's a pretty good game. I don't remember playing serás. Oh, man. Having one hand to try to do this. Maybe it's just that this is one page ad. I feel like there's something in there. Hold on, yeah. Let me peel this thing apart. Sorry about that. Man. So, also the fact that, Rachel doesn't want to dress like people from this timeline because she's from the future. But, Kitty's trying to help her to become normal. And Rachel's having a little fun of her own. When they get up to pay for the money, I guess in England at that time, they didn't want to take credit cards because they're at Marks and Spar or something. I don't know. I don't live in England. Never been to England. I don't know the language. They said, this is funny money. Nintendo. Take your favorite games anywhere. That was before they made the Game Boy, I guess. Back on the light tower, which that does not look like a light tower. It looks like a giant button. Anyway, so he's Kurt's trying to put together his little swing area. Megan comes in, checks it out, and he's playing around with them. He's tickling her and things like this, and it gets a little bit too touchy-feely, and it drives her to a passionate stage. I mean, she isn't, what is she? She's a fairy, I think, or some kind of natural force, so she's not as much in control of her faculties as most people. She's got more emotions. She's more driven by her emotions, is what I remember. And he's like, oh no, I feel so bad. I, betrayed Brian. Of course, it's Captain Britain. They're coming back and they're trying to tell him what's going on. He's going to go off half-cocked, get into a fight, but they're like, no, that's what they expect us to do. They look at the money, and everything on one side is basically, the woman getting into more and more peril, while the opposite side's got the same place. So they're like, hey, that must be the clue. So they go to that place. See, there it is there. There's the real place. Man, his face is creepy. It took me a while, but I think he's got a southern accent is what I'm trying to pick up with. Rise and shine, there's my sweetie pie. After all, we don't want to miss a minute. Oh, that last day of your life. Trey gosh, don't you think? So yeah, I mean, that's not what made me think that. There was something else where I was like, this has to be southern, the way he's talking. This is kind of gross. First off, the dude's wearing that dress and he's trying to be funny. And yeah, I may have thought that was funny at one time because it was so weird, but now that's so normal, it seems like. So now she's up next. She's basically, they got to either make them laugh or they get the foot or they get the boot. Looks like a foot. Now this is interesting. I didn't know that Callista was working with Moira. Sorry, it's hard to pronounce her name. She's all Irish. And Callisto's, of course, as far as I know, she's from like New York City. New York City. While they're going through here, burp. Here's that little dude again. I think he's the one that can take people through time and space. Kind of like teleporting them is what I can remember. I think basically he opens his mouth and teleports them. But it's like I can barely remember any of this stuff. This is the first time I've read an Excalibur book in quite a while. Now this is unusual. I don't know what's going on there. I guess maybe he did that. But I thought he's like, what the? Miss Locke, did you just... thought not. Totally impossible. Hey. So, Miss Locke, is that Psylocke? Because Psylocke, I don't think she has telekinesis as far as I remember. I mean, she does have those side blades that she forms with her energy. Like, anyway, I can't remember. She's not a character that I really remember much about her. Alright. So, while they're fighting, it seems like out of nowhere, Captain Britain... Oh, I see. I must have missed this entire page because I'm like going, I don't remember any of this. I mean, some of these pages stick together. So I think I completely missed this. So I'm going to go back and read this section right here. So I was like, oh, now it makes sense because it was like, man, I went from that to this. This is where I'm like, I'm confused. Why did they have this right there? That's what I was confused about. So evidently there's a whole 2 pages of fight and I didn't get to read. I have to go back and read it now. But let me catch you up on the gist. Basically, they use this mind control device so they can switch bodies with them. So now they're in different bodies. Let me stick this here so I'll remember to go back and read that. That's the thing about it. We have a lot of humidity here. It makes the pages stick together this time of day, I suppose. Oh, this is pretty cool. We got all those cartoons that happen. Marvel Action Universe. 1988. October 1st through the 2nd. All right, so it looks like Phoenix was the last one to be taken down. And it's kind of like to be continued because Shadowcat's the only one that didn't get caught. The rest of them had to switch bodies and then they drug back the other people. And that's just creepy. But yeah, doesn't he look like Chucky? He looks like Chucky. All right, so can you guess what that is? That's Yummy Mummy. Well, now I gotta go back and read the other part. But even though I didn't read that part, I can conjecture what happened. Overall, the cover, it's clever, it's funny. I'll give it a B for above normal humor. The artwork inside, it's a C. I mean, it's passing. It's neither bad nor good. Not the best. I mean, they do a lot of dynamic poses, so that's kind of good. So it's not like they're just stagnant, either full face or full side. The story, it's one that you have to really, I guess I was just disappointed because I was like, I'm going to get some laughs out of this. I didn't get any laughs out of it. I mean, the cover kind of misled me. And my memories misled me because I could have sworn this was a hilarious book. Overall premise, of course it's good. I really like Excalibur. I just got to start getting back into the groove of reading it again. So, did you guys ever read this one, and what did you guys think of it? Like I said, I gotta go back and read this part right here, and oh, there was some really funny parts. I wish I need to start making shorts of these things, because every now and then I come across some parts that I want to like share just that part. If I find it again, I'll make a short of it. All right, just keep looking on my shorts, not the ones I'm wearing.